So you need a calculator, pencil, eraser. And lesson 38. It looks like this. It's got the parallelogram at the top. Look at you got the right booklet. You should have this one, lesson 38. It should be in your bag already. I'll just pause this. All right, so our learning goals are learning that in parallelograms, opposite sides are parallel and equal in length. Okay, probably something you already knew from elementary school, but these sides are parallel to each other and they're also the same length. And these sides are parallel to each other and also the same length. Okay, we're learning that in parallelograms, opposite angles are equal. So those two angles are equal, and those two angles are equal. Okay. And we're learning in parallelograms, co-interior angles add up to 180. So we're learning that in parallelograms, you can make this C pattern. So for example, angle A plus angle D would have to add up to 180 degrees because they're co-interior and they form that C pattern. Okay? You can form a C pattern here, so D and C would add up to 180, B and C add up to 180, A and B add up to 180. Okay? Great, so our first question says, determine the values of little f and little g, justify your answers using geometric properties. So there's one where I should just be able to say this equals this, and my reason is parallelogram. What could I just say right away, Carter? G equals 50 degrees, and my reason is it's a parallelogram. So in a parallelogram, opposite angles are the same. So we know it's a parallelogram, so G is 50 degrees. Okay? Now for F, I have to use the co-interior angles. So I got a C pattern there. So I can make the equation that F plus 50 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. And that's, we have to justify our answer, so that's PLT C pattern. Parallel lines theorem, C pattern. And then to solve, I just need to subtract 50 on both sides. So I get F to be 130 degrees. So I've determined both values and given a geometric reason for each value. Okay? All right, that's all you need to do for that one. Quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram. Determine the measure of each angle using geometric properties. So, anyone have an idea for this one? There's a couple ways to do it. Yep. Yeah, so how can I solve for x? Even though it's a parallelogram, it's got 4 sides, which means the sum of all the angles is 360. Okay? So I can make the equation that 3x plus x plus 3x plus x is equal to 360 degrees. Awesome. And everything on the left side are like terms because they all have an x. So I can collect them all together. Yep. Yeah, 8x equals 360 degrees. And then I just need to divide by 8. And I'll get the measure of x. $45 degrees. So that means angle D equals 45 degrees, because it's X. And so does angle B. How could I figure out what angle A and C are? Yep. Perfect. So angle A is 3x, which means 3 times 45 degrees. So that's going to be 135. And angle C is also 135 degrees. They're both 3x. And we didn't really use parallelogram here. We used the property that angles in a quadrilateral add up to 360. And a parallelogram is a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral means 4 sides, not parallel. Add up to 360 degrees. DEFG is a parallelogram. What is the measure of angle F? This is a little bit trickier, but maybe not so much. Anyone have an idea what we could do? Couple ways I see it. Yep.
Well, you can put the measurements on each of the sides, like G would also be 5x.
Okay, so you're using the fact that it's a parallelogram to say that that's 5x, and this is 2x plus 12.
You could put it into an equation.
Yes, and we know that it's 4 sides, so they all add up to 360. Exactly. That's what I would do. Okay, you guys do that. When people solve this, I'm seeing two ways of doing it, so I want to show you both just in case you like one better than the other. So here's the first way, which is the way we've kind of been doing it on the board. We get 14x plus 24 degrees equals 360. And getting x equal to 24 degrees, which I realize we haven't answered the question yet. But the other way I saw people getting x was doing this. 5x, 12x, 2x, sorry, plus 12. Five x, 2x plus 12. Adding them vertically. So getting 14x plus 24, and then setting that equal to 360. Okay, both are fine. I just noticed there's about 5 of you doing this, so that's also okay as long as you make it equals 360 afterwards. But if you want to add them vertically rather than horizontally, that's fine. Okay. In the end, you're going to get x equals 24 degrees, but remember that's not what they're asking for. They want angle F. So either way, angle F is 2x plus 12 degrees. So you have to take your value of x, substitute it in, and you'll get 48 degrees plus 12 degrees, which ends up being that angle F is 60 degrees. Okay? So one of these two ways to get to x, and then everybody has to do this in order to get to f. Yep. Yes, so I saw Andrew use the C pattern, so he just added those two together, but he got 180. That's also perfectly fine too, okay? Because parallelograms, co-interior angle, that's 180. Perfect. Anyone do a different way than those 30? You still get the same answer? Okay, good job. All right. Here's an EQAO question. I'll just give you some time to try it. Okay, so there's different ways, but the most common way I saw people attacking this one was to do the parallelogram part of the question. Hi, how are you? And realize that opposite angles were the same. Right? And so then we got all four of them add up to 360 because it's a quadrilateral. Okay, so we've got 2x's, x plus x is 2x, plus 65 plus 65 is 360. And then solve for x. Divide by 2, and you get x is 115 degrees. And then we had to justify using properties. So this is what we used. We used a parallelogram first of all. That's how we got the opposite angles to be the same. And we also used that the sum of the angles is 360 degrees. So those are the two geometric properties that we use to get x. And we can fill x in our diagram now that we've got it. And see if it helps us in our quest to get y. How did people go about getting y? What is your reasoning? Let's see a couple ways to do it. Yep.
Well, below the one.
Excuse the interruption. Those vocal and keyboard students who wish to take home an instrument over the break, please go see Miss Tonkin right now in the music room. That's those vocal and keyboard students who wish to take home an instrument, please see Miss Tonkin right now in the music room.
What did you say, Asha?
Well, so the angle was the 115 degrees, that's a supplementary angle.
Okay, so I could have done 180 minus 115 and got 65 for here.
And then the angle below that is 90 degrees, so you have two degree angles.
In your triangle. Okay, yep.
I think I got actually before. I just felt the code here angle and then just opposites.
Okay, so you just did co-interior angles for that. That's fine. And then also to get the 65 that Asha got, you could have done an F pattern as well. So you could have done like here's my F, which makes these angles both 65. Okay? As long as you justify how you got it. Pardon? You got 45 here? How?
Because it's like, I got that y equals 45, and then I just like figured that like 49 plus 45 plus 90 is 1.
You got y is 45?
Because I did like 90 y plus y equals 1. And then I did 90 plus 2y equals 180, like the whole thing.
They're not the same.
They're not the same angle. But what you could have seen is since these sides are parallel, and this is 90, and so is this, right? That's 90 as well. So another way to get it would have been y plus 65 is 90.
No.
No. Because this one's 90, right? This whole thing is 90. So I just haven't finished yet. So we pick a way to do it. I'm going to do y plus 65 is 90. That's the complementary angle theorem. And then y ends up being 25 degrees. Okay, but there was many ways we saw you could have got x. There was many ways we saw you could have got y. As long as you put your justification down and you get the correct answer, you're good. All right, the next one. This is a multiple choice. Consider the diagram below. Which equation is true? Yep, you may. So basically I do process of elimination here. Is x equal to z? No, this is a parallelogram. So we know x and z add up to 180, they're not equal, so that's out. Does w equal y? No. X equals y, so that's out. Y plus z is 180. So here's my parallelogram. Y and z are co-interior angles, so do they add up to what, 180? Yes, they're co-interior angles by the C pattern. C pattern, and look, they put C with a C pattern. So that's the one that's true. Those two co-interior angles add up to 180 degrees. All right, determine the values of x and y. Justify your answers. I'll give you some time to try that one. Okay, lots of people making good progress on this question. The easiest way to do this one would probably be to see this Z pattern right away, because we have parallel lines. And that would make the underarms equal. So you could right away just write x equals 68 degrees because of the parallel lines theorem, Z pattern. Okay, but a lot of people did supplementary angles. They got this angle to be 112. And then this was 112, and this was x, and they all add up to 360. Showed all their work and still got 68 degrees. Okay, so as long as you say what property you use, you're good. So there's two ways as I walked around doing it. Some people saw the Z right away, and other people did the supplementary angles, and then angles in the parallelogram add up to 360. So for y, there was again a couple ways of doing it. Some people realized that if this is a 90-degree angle, then so is that. And if I know that this is 68 degrees, then y plus 68 has to be 90. Other people found this bottom one using supplementary, and then they got 180 for the sum of the angles in a triangle. Okay? Either way, you're going to get the right answer, so I'll do the second way, y plus 68 degrees plus 90 degrees equals 180 degrees, and that would be ASTT degrees y. So again, a couple ways to do it, as long as you show your way of thinking and use a geometric property. You're good. Okay. Determine the values of x and y. Justify your answers. Any ideas? Yeah, you can use a C. Very good. So there's a C here, and then there's another C here. Okay? So in a C pattern, the angles add up to 180. So in our first C, our yellow C, we get that x plus 116 degrees add up to 180. Remember, C pattern doesn't make equal angles. They make angles that add up to 180 or supplementary angles. So that's 64 degrees, and our rule was PLTC, parallel line theorem, C pattern. And then for the green one, we use C pattern again. Y plus 134 degrees this time is 180. And this was also by PLT, C pattern. Okay, the next one threw people for a loop, and it was on QAO. Which of the following composite shapes has 900 degrees as the sum of its interior angles? So I'll give you some time to try that one, and then we'll see who's got what right. Yep. So if we're looking at this one, we want the sum to be 900. Is it fair to say that all of the tops here are 360? Everybody good there? Yep.
We'll go to the one.
Yep. Everyone agree with that? Okay, so then I'm looking at, here there's, in this shape, there's 4 sides. So there's another 360, and 360 and 360 is not 900, so I can eliminate A as a possibility. Okay? Here I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sider. Okay? So the sum is going to be...
Excuse me, interruption. Those students who are taking grade 9 instrumental, the 4th quad, and wish to borrow an instrument over April break, please go see Ms. Pumpkin in the music room right now to get your instrument. So the students who are taking grade 9 instrumental, 4th quad, please see Ms. Pumpkin for an instrument in the music room right now.
Is that anybody? Yeah. Okay. You know where the music room is?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Everybody, can you take them to the music room?
Like the resident room?
I don't know.
It's the first floor, right?
Yeah. Okay, so 540 and 360 does add up to 900, so it's B. Okay? Everybody good? How are you doing that one? Oh, you don't have music? You're taking next year? Okay.
I don't know what things are anymore.
I found out how many angles a shape with the sum of 900 and 1,000.
Oh, and then just kind of decide?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Consider the diagram below. I feel like we've done this question before. See if you can do it again. Last time I helped you, this time. Okay, for this one, did anyone tell me what you did first? Yep, William?
I did the X thing, so I wasn't since
You did the Z thing?
X. The
X. X? This one?
Yeah.
Okay, so how does that help you?
The interior angle for
Can you both the same?
for the other triangle for the right.
Yep.
Top right down is 61.
Okay, that's the Z pattern. See this? That makes a Z, so that these are both 61.
And then 180 minus 61.
Perfect. Okay, so use PLTZ, and then 180 minus 61 gave you 119. Yep. So PLTZ and supplementary, perfect. All right, the next one is an isosceles triangle here, and they want you to get the value of x. Which angles are equal in this isosceles triangle? Yep. The x, yeah. So this is also x. So those angles are equal. So that means that x plus 38 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. So with the isosceles triangle theorem, it's all about making sure you know which two angles are the same. The ones opposite the sides that are the same. Divide by 2, because it's asking the value of x. 71 degrees. See? And the last one, I'll give you some time to try. So solve for x and y, justify your reasoning. Okay, I saw a ton of people doing this for x, so they did the supplementary angles. So x plus 76 degrees is 180 degrees by the supplementary angle theorem. Hands up if you got x a different way than that. Seems to be that way everybody was doing it as I walked around. Did anyone do it differently? So I can put this in my picture now. Okay, how about y? Anyone have any ideas for how to get y? A couple things you have to do to get to the end. William?
I did. I subtracted 180 and 180.
Okay, perfect.
Excuse the interruption. This is the last call for grade 9 instrumental. Please, instrumental, vocal, and keyboard. Please go to the music room at this time if you plan on taking an instrument home over the break. Again, grade 9 instrumental, vocal, and keyboard. Thank you.
Okay, so supplementary angle theorem says that this angle on the inside of the triangle is 62.
And then I did C.
To get this angle?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did 180 minus 76 and gave me 104.
Okay, I'm just doing a different color here. So you did 180 minus 76, and it gave you
104.
104,
And I did
and that was C. And then you did
Yeah.
You got 76. And then you finally did y plus 76 plus 62 is 180. Perfect. Y plus 76 plus 62 equals 180, and that's angle sum triangle theorem. And 138 degrees. And you end up getting y is 42 degrees. All right, that's our last lesson of new stuff. And we're almost time for break. When you come back from break, you're going to work on practice 38. I have to stop the recording.